Okay, I'm going to show you how to use formulas in Excel now. So first thing I want to show you is down the bottom of Excel, you notice that when you open a new Excel document, it gives you 3 sheets. Now sheet 1 is my original spreadsheet that we worked on a minute ago. Sheet 2 is where I'm going to show you some formulas. What you can do just to make things a bit more user-friendly is right-click that and rename it. So let's call that one Formulas. Enter, and the first one we'll just call reducible interest. Or reducible, good. Okay, so let's go to our formula spreadsheet. So first thing you need to do is enter XYZ into row 1, and then I want you to enter 1, 2, 3, 10, 20, 30, 100, 200, 300. Okay, once you've done that, I want you to select all of those 9 cells. Come over to our bottom right corner, and we're going to copy that down. And you'll notice that, as I've shown you before, Excel continues the pattern on. Okay, now let's set up some formulas. So in column E, let's write the heading Formula. Oops. Now, the first thing you need to know about a formula is that to show Excel that it is a formula, the first thing you need to type is an equals. So type equals, then we're just going to do a nice basic formula to start with. So we're going to just add these 3 cells together. And there's actually a number of different ways of doing this. The first thing I can do is I can use my mouse to select what I want to add. So I might want to select A2. And you can see Excel shows me what I'm selecting, as well as writing down the cell. Then I might want to plus the next cell, and I want to plus the 3rd cell. And you can see that it shows you in different colours exactly what you've selected in here. Once I've entered my formula, I can then press Once I've entered a formula, I can then press enter, and it will do the calculation for me. I want to just remember what I've typed in, click on the cell, and up here it will tell me in the formula bar what my formula actually is doing. If I double click it, it will actually highlight the cells just to show me again what I've done. Okay, now if I want to copy that, I just get my solid cross and I copy down. Now Excel is really smart. It does exactly what you want it to do. It copies the formula, not the actual numbers. So if I look in the cell E3 and then look up here in the formula bar, I notice that what it's telling me to add is those same numbers from column X, Y, and Z, but in the row that I want. So every time I copy a formula down, it copies the position of the cells that I want it to reference. Okay, let's try another formula. So let's call that one Formula 1. Alright, in the next one, let's type Formula 2. Now I'm actually going to put in the same formula, or I want it to do the same thing, but I want to use a different formula. I'm still going to use a formula, so I need to press equals. You notice when I press equals, notice what happens up here. So let me get rid of that equals, press equals, and this changes. And it gives me some options of some common operations that Excel uses. So sum. That's what I'm doing here. I want to sum those 3 cells together. Now it comes with this pop-up box, and that then allows me to select what I want to select from my spreadsheet. So what I want to do here, actually I'm just going to close that. I find Excel easy to use without these help functions sometimes. So let's cancel that. So what I want to do is type equals. I'm going to type the word sum, and I'm going to put a bracket to open it up. What I want it to sum is these 3 things. So I'm going to select those 3 things. If I remember how to use sum, I can just type the beginning cell and the ending cell. So A2 to C2. Close brackets and press enter. And you can see it's done exactly the same thing as what I had in my first formula. Just a different way of typing it. So this one's obviously going to be a lot easier to use if I'm adding up a whole lot of things, so more than just 3 numbers. This one's a quick way of just adding a couple of numbers. Again, if I copy it down, it should copy the whole lot for me. One other thing that is pretty good, if I just delete these copied cells, now I've got 2 different formulas here, but I can actually copy them at the same time. Alright, and Excel still copies exactly what I want it to copy, so it just copies down the column. Okay, let's now delete those formulas and do some that are a little bit trickier than that. Alright, Formula 1. What I want to do this time is I want to copy, or I want to add 1 to the 2 numbers in columns Y and Z. But each time I want to just add 1. I don't want to move it down to 2, then 3, then 4. So what I want to do, for example, is in this row here, I want it to add 20 and 200, but I want it to keep coming back to this number 1. So that's called absolute referencing. So what absolute referencing does is, it always looks back to that same position, rather than move down as I copy the formula. So let's have a look at what I mean. So in Formula 1, press equals. Now instead of selecting this cell here, what I want to do is I want to type it as, so I need to click inside here, I need to put a $ in front of my column and a $ in front of my row. So those $ are what we call absolute references. After that, I then want a plus 10 and plus 100 and press enter. So what this should now do, as I copy it down, let's have a little look. Copy it down. So 221. Now if I click on that, you can see that A2 hasn't changed. B3 and C3 have moved down. If I move it to the next one, again, A2, so it's constantly coming back to this cell up here. Alright, but because I didn't put any $ in front of the B4 and C4, then it's going to continue to copy down the column. As I move it down, it will reference the cells next to it. Okay, so down here, it's referencing B8 and C8, but it's still coming back to A2. So that's how absolute referencing works. Okay, a couple of the other functions that you might need to know for being in formulas. So we know that equals goes first. If I want to multiply something, I'm going to do select what I want. The star key is my multiplication. Alright, so star, so 1 times that one, and a division is the /. Okay. And we can copy that down as we did before. Okay, that's probably enough on formulas for the moment, so we'll finish it up there.